Pleasure to meet everyone here. And today we're going to talk primarily about Google Business Profile, formerly known as Google My Business, and the importance of that for local businesses in the area who are searching for people, customers who are trying to find you. So I'll kind of start with overview of the Google Business Profile, give you a lay of the land, what's important and what's not. And then as I'm going, I'll talk about what Google is looking for so that you can make sure that your listing shows up in that top three search results when people are trying to find services that you offer. So the Google Business Profile is primarily intended on intent for local businesses. So if you are like an online only business, or if you provide like digital products online, Google Business Profile is not really something that's going to benefit you. And the reason being is that when people are searching for services or products, there are certain search intents that are set by Google that will display the map or not display the map. And so an example of this would be like a landscaper near me is going to show up the map results versus landscaping supplies won't show a map result. It'll show the organic results. It'll show the shop results and that kind of stuff. And so if you are a business that just sells landscaping supplies, you may not show up on the map pack, and this Google Business Profile might not be as beneficial for you. So just want to set the precedent there for this conversation. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to go through our profile. And just so you're aware, there's a little bit of a cobbler's kid going on here. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about, we haven't fully done, but we've done for a number of our clients. So as you can see, the profile strength of ours is not completely green, and I'll go through that. So to get to your Google Business Profile, the first thing you do is sign into the Google account that owns the profile. And you'll know that that is the right account when you just open Google search and type in your business name. So if your business name comes up and you're signed into the account that owns the profile, you'll see this, your business on Google. You'll see all this information here, and it'll give you options for management and that kind of stuff. So that's the first step. Then as you're looking through your profile, some of the basic things that you want to have complete are in this edit profile section. And so you want to have a business name that aligns with the registered, like the official registered name of your business. So before, probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Google let you like put in a bunch of keywords in here. Like I could put digital marketing agency Hastings or social media agency Hastings. But now Google wants you to have the official business name of your business in that field. Business category. So you can have a primary and up to 3 secondary categories. And so your primary category is going to be one that identifies your primary business function. And then the secondary categories can be either ancillary services. So we've seen some people that they're plumbers, but they also do HVAC services, or they're landscapers, but they also do snow removal. And so we put their primary in here, and then we put secondary categories as well. Your business description, this is important to have. It's 170 characters or words. Is just a good summary of your business, all the different services you offer. Having that included in this from a keyword standpoint is important. Contact information. So phone number, obviously, you can put tracking numbers in here. So if you want to know who's calling your business, you can add a tracking number in here. You just need to click add a secondary phone number, move this to the secondary phone number line, and then add your tracking number as the primary. And then that'll help you understand who's calling the business from where and that kind of stuff. Website, if you have one, social profiles. This is a new feature. So adding in all of your social media connections across the ecosphere or the internet is a good way to build that trust with Google. Then location and areas. So this is where this is one of the trust things or the accuracy things that Google is looking for with local businesses. So historically, Google allowed like service-based businesses like plumbers that don't have an office, or landscapers that don't have an office, or contractors that don't have an office, to set their business location as their residential address and display that as their business location. That has gone away. And if you try to do that today, your profile will get suspended. If you have that listed today, you should change it, because any of these improvements that I'm walking you through will trigger what's called a video verification. And Google will require you to record a video proving that your business address has permanent signage on the outside of the building and that it is open during the business hours that you listed for customers to come and visit you. And so I don't think anyone wants to have their permanent business signage listed on their house, or for their customers to come and visit them at their house. So you hide that location by clicking that edit icon and just change this to hide. And so that is the first recommendation to maintain accuracy with Google. So you may ask, how do you get visibility if you're not showing up, if the pin doesn't show up on the map? Well, service area is how you maintain that visibility. And so if you define when you hide your address, you define your service area. And so you can add up to 20 locations. They can be counties, they can be cities, they can be states in this service area field. And then when people search, they see the map result. And then instead of a pin, they'll see kind of a dotted outline. And I can show you an example of one of those, of where your service area is predominantly providing service for. So that's a big change that Google is pushing. We have had a number of clients that we serve that we've had to change that because of suspensions. And so we changed those back to what Google wants, and that's just what we do. I think what's happening is Google is shifting more towards like a destination service. So any businesses that provide service at people's locations are going to be more service area based instead of a destination that people can drive to. So business hours, these are important to have accurate. There's a new category in here, so you can have open with no main hours. So this is like if you are like a 24/7 electrician, you can say open with no main hours, and then you can just, your business will always be open for phone calls and whatnot. Temporary closed, permanently closed. So these are the other options here. Ours obviously is open with main hours. The key here is we have an office space on Vermilion Street here. And so these are the hours that people can stop in and see us because we're here. And so it's important to line up those hours with the hours that you're available. Now, if you have a special type of business, like like the studio downtown, for an example, they have their office hours that they take calls and they are available to make bookings and that kind of stuff. They set those as their main hours. And then they have access hours. And so you can have access hours. These are the hours that they're available for people to use their space. Another common example of access hours is like a self-storage facility. So they may have main office hours here, but then access hours for when people can access through the gate. Special hours. So this is keeping accuracy, but also activity. So activity is the second piece, and we'll dive in a little bit more on that. But making sure that you've got the special holidays that come up, so national holidays, that kind of stuff. Making sure your listing displays the accurate availability of your business during those holidays is very important. Um, and then the more section here, these are all the attributes. So these are generally you fill them out once and then you're done. So
Adam,
like for ours, we've got it.
can
Yeah,
I
go
ask
ahead.
a question real quick?
Yeah.
For the specialty hours, is that something that can be changed at any time and is instantaneous? So I'm just thinking of restaurants that may be closed because they have a holiday party or an all-staff party. Can
Hmm.
they add that
Yep.
specialty hour on there?
Yep.
And then
So you
it's
can
instantaneous?
add a special date. You can add any date you want on here and change the hours to it, or you can just mark it closed.
Okay.
And
Thank
that
you.
takes place immediately.
Okay.
So, yep. And then for restaurant stuff, you can also add these other hours like delivery hours, takeout hours, that kind of stuff. If you want to put in some happy hours, you can do that as well. So Google likes their information. The more information you can provide for them, the better it is for your business. Um, all right. So then the attributes section here, like I said, set it once and it's done. So from the business, you can do identifying attributes, um, accessibility. So you can do any of these. We're not wheelchair accessible because we're in the basement. Steps, um, amenities. I guess yeah, we do have a gender neutral restroom. So I can add that. Um, Crowd, that kind of stuff. So like I said, we haven't really done a whole lot of this optimization, but um, like Josh, you could put appointment required. So if people need to have an appointment to get their assessment done or their estimate done, you can do
Probably a good
that.
idea.
Yeah. And the other thing for you, Josh, is you can do if you do online assessments or if you do or estimates, you can do that there as well. So that's the main business information. Once you have all that in there, that feeds kind of the accuracy brain of Google, and it will help you stand out from probably 80% of the businesses out there. The next component is going to be proximity. And so Google, when someone's searching for services in an area, they're going to display the closest business first. And so the reason they do that is because, well, I guess it depends on the keyword. So like if I go in here and I search, let me search coffee shop. So Google knows I'm searching for a coffee shop to go and visit. It's going to take, so like this is my location. The first one is Dunn Brothers. That's the closest coffee shop to me. Then it's Froth and Cork, etc. And so I would say 80% of the time, that's the way the algorithm spits it out for like customers that are looking for a destination. For service area businesses and people who are looking for like landscaping, um, it's it's a it could be ads showing up first, and it could also be someone who's not the closest pin location because there's service areas as well. And so let me see if I can find a service area in here just to show you. Um, yes, I think this first one is a service area because I don't see a pin. Um,
Do you think it's better that we use a physical service area instead of a location since we service such a broad region?
yes, and that's gonna it's actually shifting. So you might see a temporary downtick in the number of leads you get through Google Business Profile, but as they catch up with a lot of these, they will start to put you more prominent.
Step one, I'll figure out how to get into my Google business profile again.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So proximity there. And then the third one is authority. And so I'm just going to go back to my profile so I can demonstrate this one. Google prioritizes businesses that demonstrate that they're a subject matter expert in their service. And that's demonstrated through a number of different avenues. So, first is going to be customer proof. So, the number of reviews you have, and what what people think is, oh, I've got like for us, we've got 7 5-star reviews. That is fantastic. We're a 5-star company. But the reality of it is, if I'm pinned up against another company or another marketing agency that has 1,000 reviews, but they're a 4.2 star, they're going to get the business before I do because they have more trust, more authority with the people that they're working with. They've over 1,000 other customers, and so they've got that builded reputation. And so, having the most reviews is going to be key, especially for service-based businesses, as well as restaurants and hotels and that kind of stuff. And so, one of the key things that we recommend all business owners to do is get one of these Zappy cards. They're really cheap and they're NFC based. And so you basically connect it up with your Google profile, and then you can have it on a stand for like restaurants, hotels, that kind of stuff. Or you can have it as a business card that you just carry in your wallet for people that go out to people's homes. And then all you got to do is just hold it up to their phone. It pulls up the place to leave a Google review. And you say, hey, I'm really trying to ramp up my presence here. If you were really satisfied with our service, I'd love it if you'd leave a review. Here's my card to leave a review. Tap it, and then you could offer them like an incentive right there. So just to touch on that, Google, if you publicly announce to the internet that you're giving $10 off the next person that leaves a Google review, you will get suspended. That goes against their policies. And so, but if you're in person with them and say, hey, if you take a moment to leave a review here, I'll give you $10 off your bill, or whatever. That way, it's just between you and them. They leave a review. They're happy and satisfied, and you're happy and satisfied. You got those 1,000 reviews that your competitor doesn't have. And so this is a really easy way to get those reviews and those proofs. The other thing with reviews is if you are offering service to a broader area, it's important to educate your customers in what to leave in the review. And so there really are two main components you want to see in a review from like a search perspective. And you want to see the service provided, so like the name of the service that was provided, and the city or location that it was provided in. And so, like Josh, if you're going out to Cottage Grove to install trim around the house or whatever, you can have them write that in that review. You can write that in the response to the review, and that will help amplify when people are searching for that service in Cottage Grove. So that's a little bit on authority. The other pieces of authority are going to be the questions and answers section. And so if you're not aware of this is if anybody's seen like Amazon products listings, they've got questions and answers in there. It's a very similar concept. So this is a way for customers to ask questions of the business and the services that are provided, and for the business to provide answers to those services. What is little known is business owners can ask themselves these questions as well and answer them. And so if you look at ours, we have maybe 2 of these were customer asked. Otherwise, we've asked them ourselves and answered them. And they're all based on kind of keyword listings. So people are searching for these questions, and our listing might show up in the organic search results when they're trying to look for it. And so it's demonstrating our topical authority in the space of marketing. So that's authority. Any questions on that?
So knowing, okay, so we've got the Confluence and Missy's on, we have Precision Landscaping and DCA Title. What would be a good question that Grace could put in there for attracting people to, let's say, Missy's or to Confluence?
Yeah, so I would say, like, what is your cancellation policy, or do you require reservations for your restaurant? Do you offer gluten-free options? Those kind of questions.
Are you open 7 days a week? Stuff like
Yeah.
that week are a little bit
Yep.
more unique. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for Josh, it would be more like, do you provide free estimates? Do you do this type of service? What's involved in the landscaping service? So
Yeah,
yeah,
we offer such a wide range of things. I think it would be hard. You'd have to post, almost get
yeah,
someone to ask what we do and then just post a response with 1,000 keywords in it.
yeah. So it's hard, but it's also easier when you've got so many things to offer, because the kind of the best practice is one or two questions per week. And so having a consistency, so the whole thing about this profile is consistent activity. And so that's the last topic that I'll get to is activity. So Google doesn't want your listing to just sit out there and collect dust and this is it. Google views your profile very much like a social media profile. And so they want to see that you are actively responding to reviews. So reviews are the first thing that you want to do. So when you get a review, you want to respond within the first 24 hours. And that response should be directed at the individual, should be directed at the service. It shouldn't just be a, hey, thanks for the review. So the nice thing with this is you can install the Google app on your phone, and it will ping you when you get a review, and you can pull up the app right away and leave a response. So most of the time, that's what our clients do. We do offer review response services for those that don't want to or don't have time to do it. But most of the business owners, they like to, especially the smaller ones, they like to see and respond personally to those because they've worked with them. So that's in this kind of read reviews section. So looks like Josh just left a review. So thank you. I'll to leave a response. The next one is photos. So this is an easy one that we don't follow very much because we don't, the type of business that we have, there's not a real good opportunity for us to capture photos unless it's just me taking a picture of Brian sitting at his desk, which I don't think people want to see. But if you're in the restaurant space or if you're in landscaping space, take pictures of the work that you do, the food that you serve, the people that you serve, and get those photos loaded here. So you can just click add photos and then just load them up. So Google's best practice on this is 2 to 3 photos per week. And so what we do and recommend for our clients is just 1 day a week. Just take a moment to pick out all the photos in your smartphone and open up the Google app and add a handful of photos each week. It takes all of 10 minutes if you're taking the pictures and you're actively using that. I know sometimes it's hard if you've got crews that do some of the pictures. And so one of our clients uses a tool called Company Cam, which is a way for them to, oops, sorry. I'll
Company
wait for
cams,
their
great.
team.
But it's yeah.
I think it's free to use, but it's a way for the team to take job site photos, and have it be centralized in a view where you can see, and you can download those pictures. So the clients that we have that use it primarily for documenting like proof and evidence, because they're in like the handyman construction type stuff, like small construction, for rental units that go to landlords. So they want to see that information. So that's photos. When you are looking at other regular activities, it's going to be your posts. So adding updates. So you do that in here, just like I said, just like social media. Google wants to hear from you, and it's another opportunity for you to uh, amplify your reach and visibility for certain keywords. And so what we do and recommend for our clients, especially in service area businesses, is pick one service in one city and post 3 times a week on 3 times for that week on it. And then the next week, pick another service in another city and post 3 times on it. And so the description here is going to be about that service in that city. It could be a testimonial from someone in that city receiving that service. You want to add a call to action button of call now, and you want to add a photo or a video there. And so for those of you who don't capture a lot of the photos or don't have the ability to do this and do it consistently, there are like options for AI generated photos. And so when we take on a client, a lot of the content that we put out is going to be that kind of this AI generated photos with some of the content also being AI prompted, so and generated. So this is kind of some of the examples of what we're doing for ours. That's AI generated. So posts they want to see two maybe 3 times a week on that. So generally speaking, if you're keeping up on the activity front with your Google profile, you can get all of it done in probably an hour per week, if you have it like planned out and everything ready. Yeah. So that's the Google Business Profile Optimization. Any final questions?
I have, I guess I'll ask a question. So I'm at the core, the purpose of a chamber is for our businesses to promote each other and to do business so that we organically grow as a local economy. Are there any suggestions that we can do as chamber members to encourage people to provide Google reviews or to ask questions and kind of just prompt that engagement? And maybe this is something we can do offline, but I'm just thinking
Mm-hmm.
of like a set of 5 things that we can hand out at chamber events that encourages people to give Google reviews and to ask questions and
Mm-hmm.
to help organically add to our members' Google profile.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not always top of mind. But for me personally, I've set a goal this year to leave a Google review at every place that I patronize. So every place that I go to, I'm gonna after the service is done or after the meal was done, I'm gonna leave a review for that business. Just because like it not only helps them, but it also helps my profile get like gain authority. And so the other thing that's neat about Google is that it's reciprocal. So every time you leave a review or ask a question or interact with someone else's profile, your personal profile on Google gains more authority and trust with Google. And so if something happens where God forbid a local business gets a one-star review from someone who wasn't even a customer, who was a competitor, and it was fake or whatever. Those of us who have those high trust profiles in Google can report those reviews, and Google will listen to us more than those who don't have that high trust with Google. So that's a key thing. It's actually one of the strategies that some agencies have, is that they've got those profiles and they just kind of create a number of them and they leave a bunch of reviews. They interact with a bunch of businesses, and so they've got all those profiles that have these high trust with Google. And then if someone comes and says, "Hey, I need this review removed because it's not even a customer of ours," then they can offer that as a service and remove it. So yeah,
That would
it's a
be
good
nice because
question.
that does happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just had that
Disgruntled
happen.
ex-employee or yeah.
So we would encourage members to provide reviews as the business. So like if you're doing, or just as individuals.
I would
Christy,
say as individuals.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I
So
have
each,
something separate to run by you on that idea too that Nicole and I have been talking about. But
Yeah.
it's, I think on the chamber side, like if you're looking for feedback on what they could do, I think Adam kind of is indirectly saying this is it's the the chamber members themselves interacting together to like support one another with the reviews and like the marketing side of it. It's like even with Facebook, like if you pay for an ad, it doesn't seem to get nearly what it used to. It's almost better for when one person organically shares it. It does so
mhm,
much more than boosting that post. So
mhm,
how do we take those funds and put them into a group where we all get together and just share each other's things or like each other's things? And as part
Mhm.
of a networking committee of the chamber, it was an idea Nicole and I were bouncing around. But separate
Yeah.
thought I've been meaning to stop by and talk to you about. So
Yeah. No, I love it.
yep.
So Adam, this is, I mean, we went through a lot of amazing things that members can do on their own, but for those who perhaps don't have the time or are looking for something a bit more creative, this is a service that you guys offer, is kind of managing that business profile as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and we actually pair that with your website optimization, and I can go into that a little bit here. So, um, your Google profile will get better results if your business website aligns with it. And so if I pick on you, Josh, um, and so if I look at your profile here, you've got um, I don't see. So you don't have services listed, which is fine. Um, 90% of businesses don't. But if you, so you've got, let me just show you mine here. So this edit services option. So as your primary category and your secondary categories, you can add services here. So like I have email marketing here as a service. I can put starting at price on here. I can add a service description. And that actually is tied to,
how
um,
important is that price piece?
I would say it's not super important, but the way it's connected to your profile or your website. So like email marketing is here, Facebook, Google Ads, local SEO, that lines up with email marketing, SEO, local SEO, social media growth, that kind of stuff. And so having your services listed out that line up with your website services. So snow and ice management, lawn care services, have irrigation services, having those listed on your profile as services is going to be important. And for you in particular, having one of the things that we do for businesses that go to people's homes or businesses for service, we create what are called service area pages. And I'm sure you've heard of them, but essentially it's how do I say this? So you take a service that you have, so lawn care services, and you put it next to a city. So lawn care services, Hastings, Minnesota, and you outline the services that you provide for lawn care services, and you highlight some of the unique components of Hastings, linking out to some of the local businesses or local resources in Hastings, having a map, embedded map of Hastings with a couple of like custom points of interest that link out to those businesses or those locations, so that Google looks at that, and then all of a sudden you can start ranking for lawn care services Hastings. And then you kind of expand on that. And if you go out to Cottage Grove or out to Woodbury, you start building those for each of those cities, and then you do it for each of the services as well. And so you take your kind of your main keyword is probably landscaping and construction, and you do that for each of the major cities that you provide. We typically do around 20 to 25 within like a 30-mile radius. And then you start breaking down even further. So the landscaping construction services in Cottage Grove will include each of the like commercial services, residential services, and then from there you would do like pool installation, Cottage Grove, pool installation, Woodbury. And so you'll start to see that your website will balloon. You'll have over 300 pages, but you won't be able to see all of them. They'll kind of be hidden in the menus, but Google will see them, and Google will start to give you more business for people that are searching for those services in those different cities. And so that's one of the biggest things that we do in terms of how do we get the business profile to amplify with the website, and so that when people are searching for pool installation, they find your business.
Okay. Well, this was really informative and helpful. Thank you, Adam. Any last questions before we log off? Okay. Well, look for a more formalized, let's promote our Google Business Profile Chamber initiative as we roll that out. But no, this was great and information that I think a lot of our local businesses could benefit from. So thank you again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And we are going to, I do have this recorded, so I am going to put it on our webinar page on our website and also send it out to members in the e-blast. But Adam, would you be willing to take questions from those that are on the call?
Of course.
If I want to email you, what's a good email address for you?
You can just email me at adam@themarketingclerics.com.
Perfect.
I'll put it in chat here.
Great. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Take care.